My name is Naveed. I was born in Afghanistan,
5'8",
and right now I'm working on
5'8".
starting a movement behind this clothing brand, so that way we can bring awareness about the importance of self-education and the importance of giving back to your community.
Every day I'm up late, doing what I gotta do to make all these goals, a player winning games. All these goals, a nigga winning games. I got it, homes to play real estate. If I want it, I'ma cop it anyway. Might not even get it.
It was tough. It was very tough. I've been raised by a single mom, so a little bit more about me. I have a little brother who I'm very proud of, and I definitely do have family here who support me. I had a comfortable life before I started KnowledgeTribe Apparel, to tell you the truth. I wasn't like stuck in a situation where I had to dig myself out, or I didn't know, when I was gonna get my next plate, or I didn't know where I was gonna sleep at, or something like that. To tell you the truth, I really had a comfortable life. I worked at Chase Bank. I had wanted to work there since I was 16 years old. I was very persistent in getting that position, and that's what really taught me a lot about persistency and thriving to be the best. So my working background would be in banking, and I actually went to school for business econ, so that way I can put myself in a better position to be in that banking world. Did very well, very proud of the work that I did. But then again, when I became a business banker, I realized the common denominator amongst my clients, my best clients, were the fact that they were the business owners. They were doing the most for their communities. They had the most time to be parents, to be brothers, to be sisters, to be daughters. And I realized, why not put two and two together and try to do our own thing? I've always been into fashion. I wanted to have my own line. I'm sure everyone wouldn't mind having their own line. But of course, when somebody wants to support you, they want to support your cause. They want to support your movement. They don't just want to buy a cool shirt and say, hey, I got a shirt. But there's got to be a story behind it. And I realized I want to get back to the people who are smart and are proud of the fact that they're smart. So I decided to start a clothing brand called KnowledgeTribe Apparel. When I decided to take that leap of faith and decide to really do my own thing and work towards leaving that banking world, or maybe leaving that 9-to-5 world, was the time when I had a conversation with my mom in regards to what she wanted for us and what she saw me doing. Her vision for my brother and I was that she wanted me to pretty much be a surgeon, plastic surgeon to be exact, and she wanted my brother to be an engineer, I believe a computer engineer. But then she realized that that wasn't gonna happen because I went to school for business econ. She realized that I was actually more happy in the banking world. So I asked her, hey, what do you think about me trying to start my own business? And she said, hey, you've been working with business clients for about a year now. If you really do trust what they're teaching you, then take that leap of faith. I trust you. As soon as she said that, literally the next day, I started sketching different types of designs. I started playing around with names for the brand. I started working with movements, what I wanted to do. Started talking to the homeless shelter in my community. And it took me about 6 months, and within that 6-month period, I started finding manufacturers overseas, started talking to them. They made me some samples. And in May of 2017, I decided to leave the banking world because our first event in Rancho Cucamonga was gonna take place. So I had to prepare for that. Many fears, man. Honestly, many fears. First and foremost, I was the breadwinner in the house at that time. So we were relying on my income a lot to pay for the bills, which I was very proud of. But then again, once you don't have those checks coming in every 2 weeks, you got to start grinding. Mm-hmm. But then again, the fear of being comfortable as well, because I was very comfortable. I knew I was killing it at work, so I knew that next paycheck was going to take care of whatever I had to take care of when it comes to financial reasons. But just the fact that I wasn't going to be comfortable anymore, just the fact that I was going to be pretty much by myself doing this, and the fact that I have so many eyes on me while I'm trying to build this, that was definitely something I was scared of. Will Smith is definitely someone I like to listen to on YouTube anytime he speaks. And one of the speeches he did have is in regards to fear. And that guy's story is compelling. I mean, come on, he started off as a rapper, but he wasn't just your ordinary rapper who was raised in the ghetto and had to rap about that. But no, he had a comfortable life once again, just like me. But he took that leap of faith and became a rapper, platinum rapper. Then he decided to be an actor, Oscar-winning actor now. But I also like to listen to Les Brown. Mr. Les Brown has taught me a lot about perseverance, to tell you the truth. And he was actually raised by a single mom and his 6 other siblings. He was actually adopted as well. So what happened was he taught me about the time he would sell TVs door to door, and it reminded me of the time that I used to sell candy door to door when I was 12 years old, helping my mom to pay the bills at the house. The brand was called Future Leaders. It was an after-school program that actually taught me a lot about my mentorship as well. I also like to listen to John Maxwell. His leadership skills and his leadership advice have definitely helped me pretty much get prepared for the time that whenever I have employees to take care of, throughout the time that I'll have a corporation to take care of. And man, last but not least, I like to listen to Malcolm X. My man Malcolm X. I mean, I was raised a Muslim. My family is of course from Afghanistan, so that's a predominantly Muslim country. I'm proud of my religion. I'm proud of what we have to offer to the table when it comes to knowledge and the fact that not all Muslims are terrorists. I promise you that. If you allow us to welcome you to our house, you'll realize that we're not just turban-wearing terrorists. Keep that in mind. And Malcolm X, the things that he went through as a Muslim once he converted to Islam, that just always stayed with me. His autobiography is probably my favorite book of all time. Challenges are imminent, man. Challenges happen. Well, how else are you going to know that you're doing something right if you don't go through any challenges, right? Some of the people that I met throughout my journey while doing KnowledgeTribe and while doing certain events were definitely JR from I Got My Own Back Clothing. My man, you're a mentor, I promise you. You're a mentor to me. Karen, one of my best customers, who's actually a teacher in a school in Mission Viejo, who has already donated more than 5 filled boxes of books that I've been able to donate to the homeless shelter. I can't thank you enough. Juan, one of my best friends now, who's gonna be the future governor of California, I promise you. I've been able to meet Julia. I've been able to meet Kiki. I've been able to meet Jacob from Iridium, who's gotten me involved with his sporting agency and pretty much spreading my message to his athletes. Because think about it, athletes are incredible human beings. They have incredible abilities, but sometimes they're not always focused on their learning. You know, there's a difference between learning a playbook and then learning to take care of your finances. So Jacob has given me an opportunity to talk to his athletes and remind them of the importance of taking care of your finances once they retire. And last but not least, I was able to meet Stephanie. Stephanie is actually the girl who runs SoCal Etsy Guild. To tell you the truth, Stephanie, without you I wouldn't be here, because you allowed me to be in your events. Challenges. Now, let's talk about challenges. Pretty much anytime I go do events, I'm by myself, man. I really am. It's fine. It's totally fine. But it takes a toll on you when you have to drive from one city to another. I did Night on Broadway in LA this year. Swear to God, I got there at 7 in the morning and I left at 2 in the morning. Yeah, so events like those, you know, I met incredible amount of people, but at the end of the day, I'm only human too, you know, so it does take its toll on you. But the reward at the end of the day is just pretty much hearing your customers text you or DM you, reminding you that, hey, whatever they have on at that moment is probably the best shirt they have in their closet, and I can't thank them enough. The fact that I'm such a new company and I'm such a new brand to where I have the courage to go and participate in these huge events where you're gonna see like 80,000 to 100,000 people, but they just don't approve me right now. I've been denied like 6 times by these events because apparently I don't have enough credibility right now, because I don't have enough sales and because I don't have enough of a name out there. So that's pretty much the hardest thing right now for me. I do not mind driving far for an event. I do not mind literally sleeping in my van throughout the night just so I could stay in that event for multiple days. But just give me the damn opportunity to be there, you know? If you give me that opportunity to be there, I promise you I'll make sure that your jaw hits the floor once you see my stuff. The process of getting ready for an event is really, really important, man, because it's a lot of mental work. You have to prepare yourself for the fact that not everyone's gonna like your stuff. Not everyone's gonna stop in your booth and say, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. You have to be able to not take it too personally when somebody says, I'm okay, literally, I don't have time to listen to you, or literally, I don't really care about your brand. Because a lot of people, that's where they mess up in the beginning, is they take negativity and they take criticism way too seriously and way too personally. I try to prepare myself by meditating first and foremost. And secondly, I do remind myself that, hey, even though a lot of my followers and I believe I have the greatest thing in the world, but not everyone else is going to agree with that. So it's okay if somebody ignores you while you try to talk to them, or it's okay if somebody comes into your booth and spends 20 minutes with you but doesn't buy anything. That's fine, because you still have the opportunity to explain yourself to them. You still have the opportunity to let them know of who you are and what you're about. So honestly, like, a lot of it is mental work. Just have a tough mind, be ready to be rejected, and just have a purpose, have a goal. When somebody comes to my booth and they want to know about the brand, the last thing I want to do is sound like a robot, first and foremost. Every person has their own way of talking to you, so I have to find a different way to talk to different people, because then again, I'm able to relate to them, I'm able to talk to them. I'm not sounding robotic as well. It's very boring to hear someone who's just saying the same thing over and over again. So what goes through my mind is, first and foremost, like, trying to find a way to connect with the person. And then secondly, when I talk about the brand, when I talk about KnowledgeTribe, I'm literally giving you information. The last thing I want to do is try to actually sell you something. So when you come up to my booth and you ask me about my designs, I'm not going to tell you about the price first. I'm going to tell you about why I designed it. I'm going to tell you what goes on the design, how the shirt feels, the quality behind it. And I pretty much wait for the customer to ask me about the price, because then I know that not only are they trying to buy the shirt, but they're actually trying to buy the design, by what it stands for, what's behind that. My blood, sweat, and tears definitely go into every design. And the communications that I have with my clients, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Whenever they open up to me about, you know, hard times they had in school, or when they open up to me about their kids not wanting to read right now, but they really want their kids to read, or when they open up to me about them giving back to the homeless, man, just within like 3 or 4 minutes, I have clients opening up to me about certain topics that they kind of can't even talk to with their loved ones or with their most trusted surroundings. So that's what I appreciate the most. So when you come to my booth, whenever you see me at my booth, I really want you to understand that I'm going to treat you as a human being first, not as a transaction. You're not a transaction to me. You're not a barcode to me. You're a human being. You're David, not just a guy who just wants to buy a shirt. Just know that whatever it is that you're working on, it can work, as long as it's solving a problem, as long as it's building awareness, as long as you're persistent. Because once again, the first thing we try to do is we try to pitch our ideas to our closest friends, to our family members. And guess what? They sometimes let you down. They don't believe in your vision. They don't believe in your product. They don't believe in your services. But don't let that be all. The world is a big place. So if you can truly find the right audience for your product and for your services, the rest will literally get the ball rolling. If you want to connect with me in person, you can come to my shop here in Whittier, California, 9150 South Painter Avenue. But you can always connect with me through my social media. Once again, it's a big world, so who knows, you might be in a whole other country while watching this. You can always message me. You can always reach out to me, either through email or on Instagram. But if you have the opportunity to come see me in person, then trust me, it's gonna mean the world to me to have you come on by and meet me in person. So email is gonna be knowledgetribeapparel@gmail.com, and Instagram is knowledge_tribe. Feel free to message me any time of the day, because that's how I grow. When you reach out to me, I'm able to reach back out to you, and maybe we can discuss some ideas and see what we could do.
You know.